Hello, everybody. I'm Chuck Gibson. This is Trekking Evagoras Papasavvas Racing, a Loveland Beacon sports special podcast. And today, I'm actually sitting with Evagoras. He's not behind the wheel on the road somewhere. He's not, 1,000 miles away, and we're on the telephone. So it's a great pleasure to have you with me today, Evagoras. Thanks for joining us and bringing us up to date on Evagoras Papasavvas Racing.
Well, yeah, thank you for having me on there once again.
It's my pleasure as always. And I'm going to start this one out. I'm going to give it away to the audience, but then we're going to talk about exactly what happened. But what a great weekend at Road America for you. Congratulations. 3 poles. So pole position for all 3 scheduled races. And then a P1 and a P2 finish. Sadly, the rain took over at the end and there was no third race. But 3 pole positions, 2 podiums, a P1 and a P2. How do you feel?
I feel really good. Feel pretty relieved. Just that we were able to deliver at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, those we had a really fast car all weekend. One of the best cars I've felt around Road America. Even in the other series, there were still a few things that I felt could be better with the car. But this one, the Crosslink crew did a great job of setting up this Formula Regional car, and it felt really well. Felt really good. Car was super fast all weekend, and it was just a pleasure to drive.
I was just going to say, so the Crosslink guys are taking good care of you, putting you out there in a car that, that you got to get it right because the car's already right.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah, it's all on me now. And honestly, I prefer it that way.
Well, it should be,
Yeah.
And the skills are matching up, and it's a course, again, Road America's a course you've been on in the Indy Next and the USF cars in the past. It's one of your favorite courses to race. So that's nice to have that familiarity and comfort and confidence on the course. There are some different things. We talked about it after the race a month ago when you were at NOLA with the Formula car and these Formula Regional Americas races. And now I think I finally have it clear. So it is a standing start, 2 by 2 by 2, but it's staggered, as you were explaining to me before we turned the recorder on and went on air here. So, but again, you had pole position from the qualifying fast lap, right? Fastest lap.
Yeah, so I had, so for race 1, it's obviously set by the qualifying session before, so fastest lap gets P1 and then so forth. But then for race 2 and race 3, it's the fastest lap in the race. Right. So if you set the fastest lap in the race, then you're on pole. And it's the same thing. So the race can also be a qualifying session at the same time.
Right. Well, that was an interesting thing for me because when I saw the results, Saturday, first race at Road America for this season with the Formula car, second place, P2, which is a great result. But then I saw that you had the pole for the first race Sunday, and I was thinking P1 gets the pole, but no, in fact, as you just described, you qualified for the pole position with the fastest lap during race number 1. So obviously a great race.
Yeah. Just in race 1, it was a pretty good race. I was glad that I was able to recover. So I started on pole for race 1, but we had an issue at the beginning of the race where the clutch was still engaged for the first 3 corners of the race. So basically I couldn't really accelerate. And I dropped down to 8th or 9th after that. And then, after that I just had to keep my cool and just drive the car. And, the car felt really good and I was able to go from 8th to 2nd.
That's, to me, it's an interesting piece too because the experience we've had following you racing the last few years with the USF and with the Indy Next, those races are tough to make those passes. So to have an issue right at the start, drop back into the 8th position, and then make up 7 of those to get back to a P2 finish, that's a lot of passing. I mean, did something stand out for you during the race? I mean, obviously, as you just said, Evagoras, you had a car that was set up well, and, personally, I can say you've got the skills. I've watched you race, and your results over the years tell people that you can drive the car. But did anything stand out for you in being able to make the passes at this level?
The thing with Road America is that they have pretty big straightaways. So it's you get a big opportunity to kind of tuck in behind the car in front of you, just get a good draft, and then just be really deep, really confident on the brakes to be able to pass them. But one pass that kind of stuck out to me was, so it was a yellow, and then we did the race restart. So going into turn one, and I believe I was in fourth at this time, and two cars in front of me were side by side going into turn one, and I had a lot of momentum. I had a good restart, and there was some space open on the outside, so we were going into turn one at three wide, going into turn one. And, just like I mentioned before, I was able to go in really deep on the brakes and pass two cars in one corner.
Some great racing.
Yeah.
I wish I was there to see that one. But I have another question. So for the listeners and everybody, do you get, I mean, personally I do. Do you get like wide-eyed, like when you're in that situation and you see the two up front and you're getting ready to go into that turn one, and do you kind of get wide-eyed, like I see an opening? Do you feel that mentally when it's happening in front of you?
Yeah, you do. I do feel it a little bit, but it's more just like kind of like calculated kind of moves. You're not just kind of just doing whatever, right? It
didn't just appear.
Yeah, it's all calculated, calculated stuff, and I just took advantage of it. So yeah.
It's just, to me, there's certain things, you've heard me before, baseball is my game. So you see a certain pitch and you get like, you're right, the bat's ready and the eyes are wide. The bad thing is sometimes you swing and miss.
Yeah, sometimes.
So, and I know that happens on the racetrack too. You get yourself in that position and you think the pass is going to be there, and then whatever happens, and maybe don't get the opportunity to make that pass.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, that ultimately at the end of the day, Saturday, race one's completed. That you put you on a pole position with a P2 finish, and again, after dropping to the 8th spot and making those passes to get back up to 2, you had to be feeling really good going into that race on Sunday.
Yeah, I was feeling really good going into the race on Sunday, knowing that we had the pace to kind of drive through the field like that. So yeah, I was feeling good for it. Started on the pole, but race 2 Sunday was a little bit more eventful just because of the weather.
Right.
It started raining at the beginning of the race when we were all on the dry slick tire compound.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So it was crazy, and because I'm the first car leading, I go into all these corners blind, basically. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect with the grip levels. Because if you're behind someone, you see kind of what they do and what happens.
You see the wiggle.
Yeah, exactly. So you know what to do. But I had no idea what to do. But, thankfully I was able to keep it on track. The initial start, we were supposed to do a standing start. But we weren't able to do that because the car behind wasn't in the proper grid position. They were reversing on grid. So we did the normal rolling start 2x2 that I've been doing since in USF and Indy Next, and even in go-karting, just what I'm used to.
Right.
And then now because of the rain and we're all on slick tires, it was a lot of people were going off. Now, like I said, thankfully I was able to keep it on the track, but a lot of people behind me were going off.
A little bit of mayhem.
Spinning and crashing. So then it got so bad after like 1 or 2 laps that the series red flagged the race. So we all came into the pits, and then they all gave us the opportunity to put on rain tires.
That was my next question, because I didn't even think about the fact that you guys started on the slicks for dry conditions.
Yeah.
And rain came. I was going to ask, did you guys get an opportunity to stop and change to the rain tires? And obviously you did.
Yeah. So we were able to switch to the rain tires. Now because of the red flag and all the yellows that we were doing, we didn't get much green running time. So when we went out on track after the restart, we did what is called a green-white checkered,
right?
Which is just the first lap is green and then the last lap is white flag. So you really only get 2 laps, and then it's the checkered flag. I was starting first for the restart. I was able to stay in first for the whole race. So it did the last lap. The last couple laps was a battle between me and my teammate. It came pretty close. I was able to pass my teammate on the last lap. He passed me initially, and then I was able to pass him back on the last lap. It was really close racing, really fun racing. But thankfully I was able to come out with the win.
that was, again, with what happens Saturday, dropping to 8th and racing, to get the P2 finish, and then the rain conditions and the restart after a red.
Yeah.
You did some racing.
Yeah.
Over the weekend.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a pretty fun weekend.
I was going to say that's
a lot of close racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As not just somebody who's covered racing, but as a fan of racing, I agree with you. That's the fun stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
Those races, and you tell me as a driver. I don't know if it ever feels like this as a driver, but as a fan, sometimes those races where it's just like it falls into a rhythm, and the guy's just up front, and people chase him all day, and nothing really changes. And those don't feel like a race.
Yeah, I got a taste of that when I was in Indy Next. A lot of the races are like that, just because of the nature of the car, and it's so hard to follow cars in front of you because of the dirty air effect that you get. Because of how much downforce those cars have. So that's definitely I definitely did feel that when I was in Indy Next a little bit.
Well, and in that series, that was still a timed series too. So
yeah,
that it kind of lends itself to that situation.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but when you're a driver, obviously you'd like to be in the front and have a big gap. No pressure around you, but yeah, definitely as a fan, you want to see people battling for positions.
Well, there was great racing Saturday and a P2 finish, and great race in the first race Sunday despite the rain conditions, and a P1 finish for you. And then it was wait.
Yeah.
It was wait. Is the rain going to give us a break, and are we going to race that third race or not? So take us a little bit through just the waiting process, and then ultimately learning that in fact the race had been canceled due to the weather. But
yeah, now first what they did was because of how we did not get, the series says that we did not get enough green flag racing laps in race 2 because of the yellows and the red flags, they made that race half points. So everyone only got half points for that race, which is unfortunate because I won, and you'd like to get the most points possible. But it's okay.
Well, everybody got half too.
Right, yeah, everyone got half, yeah. But for race 3, before pretty much right after my race, it just started pouring down rain pretty heavily. Right before the F4 race was supposed to go out, and then because of the thunder and the lightning, they actually canceled the F4 race, so all the F4 cars drove back to the tents. But yeah, it was just a lot of sitting there under the tent and just waiting. And it was pretty heavy rain, high winds, thunder, lightning. I think at one point it was actually hailing a little bit.
Wow.
It was crazy how it kind of went from such a nice day on Saturday to that on Sunday pretty quickly. But yeah,
well, we sent it your way. It was here Saturday.
Yeah.
Say thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so it was crazy weather. But yeah, and actually how we learned about it is they sent a text on the series WhatsApp where all the drivers, all the teams are on,
sure.
Saying that the race was canceled. And I was able to talk to Scott Goodyear, who is kind of the top guy there at Formula Regional F4, and he was saying that he went out in a normal road car on track just to see the conditions, to see if it's able to race.
Right.
But he said that the track said it was going to take about 2.5 hours to clear it out, and it's just at that point, we're so late in the day anyway that you won't have any daytime to run in. But he said that in some of the corners there were just like straight rivers just across the track, just big standing water, and that's just not safe. No matter what kind of setup or tires that you have, it's just not safe to drive with a lot of standing water in our low race cars.
Remind me again. So the Road America course is how many miles total for the?
It's the biggest track. It's 4 miles. 4 miles long.
Okay, I knew it was bigger. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of track to find places. A lot of track for the rain to make bad places is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and it's also a lot of track for the teams to clear out all the standing water. So, and normally, because he was explaining that normally what they do is they kind of just push the water off to the side, and it kind of just sinks into the grass. But then he went to go step on the grass. It was already just
saturated,
completely full.
Yeah.
So he realized that there was really no no way around this for a safe race. So they ended up canceling the race.
Well, that was kind of excuse the expression, but kind of a bummer finish to the race weekend.
Yeah.
But still, Evagoras Papasavvas, a great race weekend for you.
Yeah, thank you.
And it sounds like, as you said, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Some really good racing. I'm just jealous. I wish I was there to watch it firsthand. Next up, and prayers and fingers crossed and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's about a month away. Mm-hmm. Middle of June would be Mid-Ohio if everything works out, and the Crosslink team has Evagoras racing at Mid-Ohio.
Yep.
That's what's next. But for now, and maybe the numbers exactly. I'm not looking. I usually will bring the computer up. And I'm not cheating on the phone, but I know that. And for the listeners at home, your standing in the driver standings right now is.
First, I'm leading the championship going into Mid-Ohio after 5 races. So.
Yeah, so that's outstanding as well. So it was such a great result over the weekend, and to move you back into that driver standing championship lead. Do you know what's the difference in points right now between you and 1 and 2?
I think I'm just over 10 points ahead, maybe like 12 or 13 points ahead of P2. But yeah, if we, God willing, I get the chance to race at Mid-Ohio, and I'm looking forward to it. It's always good racing there, as it's my home track.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And of course, doggone those half points for the second race.
Yeah.
You could have padded that lead a little bit more, but great to have you have you here with us. Face to face.
Yeah.
It's been too long. Too many phone calls.
Yeah.
Do the face to face.
Yeah.
And I will throw in one last thing. So now it's all clear. The next thing up after the racing is going to be fall classes at the University of Cincinnati. So again, congratulations on the graduation, which took place. For your classmates, took place Sunday while you were on a racetrack.
Yeah.
Which made it again a little bit sweeter, I'm sure, when you went up on that podium and held up the P1 trophy. So congratulations on that and whatever's coming next. And just Evagoras, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us and keep us up to date on another edition.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Tracking Evagoras Papasavvas Racing. Thank you for listening. Evagoras, one more time, thank you for joining us. And for now, I'm Chuck Gibson, and that's Evagoras Papasavvas Racing.